The movie begins with a battle. The Romans had attacked Africa at this time, and this war had been ongoing for several days. The surprising part was that the African army was being led by a Roman man named Lucius. In this battle, Lucius's wife was also fighting alongside him, but unfortunately, she was killed in the Roman attack. The Romans were already outnumbering the Africans and overpowering them, but Lucius and his wife's bravery had held them off. After his wife's death, however, Lucius lost all his courage. He deeply loved his wife, and her death broke him completely. He stopped fighting, allowing the Romans to win, and Africa's forces were defeated. The Romans captured Africa and took Lucius and other soldiers as prisoners to Rome. At this time, Rome was ruled by two young brothers, Geta and Caracalla. The previous emperor of Rome was very kind-hearted, but since these two brothers came into power, the people were greatly troubled because they were tyrannical. Caracalla was even mentally unstable. Under General Marcus's leadership, the Romans had won the war. As a celebration, Geta organized a program for his and the public's entertainment. It was a fighting program where prisoners would face off against ferocious beasts in an arena. Lucius, along with many prisoners, was brought to this battlefield. As soon as Lucius arrived, he had a flashback of his childhood. He felt the place was familiar, remembering how his mother had sent him away with some soldiers from this very field during his childhood. This made it clear that Lucius had a deep connection to this place. Back in the present, the battle in the arena began. Ferocious monkeys were unleashed on enemy soldiers, attacking and killing many in an instant. Lucius and one of his companions initially stood back, watching the scene, but eventually they gathered their courage and intelligence to fight back. They managed to take control of the situation, attacking from behind and finally killing the monkeys. During this fight, Lucius caught the attention of Rome's former general, Marcus, who watched him keenly. At the end of the game, Marcus called Lucius to him, praised his bravery, and said, "I've seen your strength. I want you to fight for me and become my gladiator. In return, I will give you a luxurious life. Otherwise, you know what happens to prisoners here." Lucius laughed upon hearing Marcus's offer. Marcus looked at him questioningly. Lucius said, "I haven't come here for anything else. I've come here to take General Marcus's head because he killed my wife." Upon hearing this, Marcus replied, "Your task is my responsibility. You'll get Marcus's severed head, but in return, you'll have to obey me." The scene shifts to General Marcus, shown with his wife, Lucilla. Lucilla was a Roman princess. Rome had initially belonged to her father, but after his death, it was handed over to her husband, who died in battle. Lucilla was then married to General Marcus. In their conversation, Marcus tells Lucilla that he is the rightful heir to this rule, not Geta or Caracalla. That's why he has planned a rebellion and within a few days intends to wage a major battle against the two brothers. The next scene shows Lucius being called to fight again, this time against a professional gladiator for the entertainment of the emperors. This gladiator was a longtime champion, undefeated until now, and he initially overpowered Lucius. But Lucius, refusing to give up, observed his opponent's weakness. Taking advantage of it, he grabbed the gladiator's hand, controlled him, and killed him with his own knife. This shocked everyone, as Lucius had defeated the most experienced gladiator. Even Geta was impressed and praised Lucius. In response, Lucius recited a poem that his mother had told him in childhood. The poem was in the Roman language, surprising everyone. Soon after, General Marcus entered the scene and took Lucius away. In the prison, Marcus questioned Lucius repeatedly about his origins and where he was born. Hearing the poem, Marcus suspected that Lucius might be Lucilla's son. However, Lucius did not give a clear answer. The scene then shifts to General Marcus, who was shown preparing for his rebellion. Many senators, spies, and important figures, tired of Geta's tyranny, were ready to support Marcus. Marcus revealed that he had a special army of 5,000 men, with which he planned to attack the palace. The next day, Geta arranged another fight, this time involving a rhinoceros controlled by a Roman soldier. If anyone managed to survive the rhinoceros, they would still be whipped to death by the soldier. The fight was brutal, and it was nearly impossible for any prisoner to escape alive. Many prisoners were killed by the rhinoceros, but when it was Lucius's turn, he cleverly evaded the initial attack. Using dirt to blind the rhinoceros, he caused it to charge into a wall, getting its horn stuck. The soldier riding the rhinoceros then confronted Lucius, but despite his strength and experience, Lucius fought bravely and ultimately defeated him. Geta was so impressed that he recited the same poem Lucius had earlier. Hearing this, Lucilla remembered her son, recalling how she had once recited the same poem to him. Realizing that Lucius was her son, she decided to tell him the truth. That night, Lucilla went to the prison to meet Lucius. She apologized, explaining why she had sent him far away after his father's death. Lucius was angry and troubled, unsure of how to process everything. He scolded Lucilla and sent her away. The next day, Lucius was summoned to fight again. This time, the battle was to take place on a ship floating in waters filled with hungry sharks. If Lucius lost his balance and fell into the water, the sharks would devour him. Despite the danger, Lucius fought bravely, ultimately defeating his opponent. He then picked up a spear and hurled it toward General Marcus, seeking vengeance for his wife's murder. However, the spear missed and struck Geta's throne instead. Though no one was killed, Marcus, sensing the threat, left the arena and returned to his chambers to continue preparing for his rebellion. At this point, Lucilla arrived to deliver shocking news to Marcus. Their son Lucius had returned, and he was the rightful heir to Rome's throne. This revelation shook Marcus, who had long dreamt of ruling Rome. Unbeknownst to them, a maid overheard their conversation and informed the former general, Macinus, who had initially offered Lucius the chance to become a gladiator. Macinus and his spies betrayed Marcus, revealing to Geta and Caracalla that Marcus was planning a rebellion and that Lucius, the rightful heir, had returned. Enraged, the two brothers ordered the arrest of both Marcus and Lucilla. The scene shifts to Lucius in prison, where a soldier shares tales of Rome's history, including stories about Lucius's father, Maximus. The soldier took Lucius to a secret place where Maximus's armor and weapons were stored. Seeing these artifacts, Lucius experienced vivid childhood flashbacks, finally believing that Lucilla had been telling the truth. He was indeed the son of Maximus and the rightful heir to Rome. The next day, Geta organized yet another gladiator fight for entertainment, but this time, he summoned General Marcus himself. Marcus was a legendary fighter, and none of the gladiators sent against him could stand a chance. Eventually, Lucius was also called to the arena to fight Marcus. Though Lucius wanted to kill Marcus to avenge his wife, Marcus shocked everyone by throwing down his sword and surrendering to Lucius. Marcus acknowledged Lucius as the rightful ruler of Rome. Watching this, Geta ordered Lucius to kill Marcus. However, Lucius refused to kill someone who had surrendered. Furious, Geta ordered his soldiers to kill Marcus, and they rained arrows upon him, killing him on the spot. Lucius was deeply shaken by Marcus's death, but he used the moment to turn the people against Geta. He declared, "Look at what your emperor has done. He killed a man who fought for you and your nation for years. If such a great man's life holds no value for him, imagine how little he values your lives." The people were enraged and protests erupted throughout Rome, demanding Geta's removal. Amidst the chaos, Macinus manipulated Caracalla, convincing him that Geta would never let him rule. In a fit of rage, Caracalla attacked Geta, beheading him with a sword.